Welcome to Entry Point Faith, where every week we discover fresh meaning in the world so you can find faith your way. And now, please welcome your host, Pastor Nancy Lafferty.
In the movie, We Bought a Zoo, a family is in crisis. The husband and two kids are grieving the loss of their wife and mother to cancer. So, of course, the mood of the movie is sad and somber. The elder child, Dylan, is a teen who is expressing his anger and sorrow through art, while his younger sister, age 7, Rosie, makes light of the situation whenever she can. So, in one scene, the neighbors are hosting guests and enjoying a rousing party, the exact opposite mood displayed by our grieving family. As Rosie is settling into bed one night, she hears the party going on and she's bothered by this noise coming from her neighbor's party. She pouts, she sighs, and she says to her father, "Their happy is too loud." Their happy is too loud. What a brilliant sequencing of words. That phrase contains a boatload of insight and honesty and wisdom. Their happy is too loud. Rosie was admitting to her father that someone else's fun was disturbing her. A phrase that we can all relate to at times in our lives. If we are honest, we've all been there. We're standing at a party, and the laughter from the other side of the room angers us. We aren't having that kind of fun. We aren't standing with or talking to entertaining, happy, jovial people. We aren't standing with fun people. We aren't laughing or enjoying each other's company like they are. A blogger named Julie writes about her own struggles one evening at the dinner table when her 4 daughters, ages 4 through 9, caught a case of the giggles. Everything was funny, and it was taking them far too long to eat their dinner. All Julie could think was, I just want them to finish the food on their plates and quit laughing so much. Their happiness is driving me crazy. Julie continues, as I waited for a pause in their laughter, I felt my blood pressure rising, and eventually my frustrations got the best of me. I, not so subtly, silenced the noise and destroyed their happy spirits. Not the best parenting moment. Ultimately, I was telling my kids to put an end to their happiness in order to please my mood. The happiness of other people bothering us is very similar to what happens to us when we are sick or experiencing a physical ailment. A few weeks ago, I strained my foot and I hobbled around for almost 2 weeks. Now, during that time, I wanted really badly to feel sorry for myself. Whenever I was out of the house, I looked longingly at people who were walking and running and moving about without any difficulty. I wasn't able to walk well, and I didn't like it that they could. In all honesty, this feeling contains envy and jealousy, but it also points to our mental health. I'm just going to say it one more time for the people in the back. This pandemic has challenged our mental health in extraordinary ways. We are not who we used to be. Weathering the constant uncertainty from this virus and maintaining a reasonable balance between safety and living is absolutely exhausting. We are not at our best. We haven't been at our best for 2 years. We are honestly so sick of it all that I am pretty convinced that we have all felt like saying, their happy is too loud. We wish we could laugh and join in. but we just don't have the energy. We just don't feel like it. We don't feel like it as much as we used to because our response to the pandemic is that we interact with people much less often. We are much more isolated. And when isolation becomes the norm, it takes a lot more energy to interact and communicate with each other. We wear each other out much more quickly. We have new habits now. We wear pajamas a lot more often. In fact, probably more than our clothes. We stay home a whole lot more, and we go out a whole lot less. We watch things on screens instead of in real life. And no one is judging you. I am right there with you on the couch playing games on my iPad, watching Netflix. There are some excellent side effects from our new habits. We are possibly at times more relaxed, less stressed. We are pickier about what we will allow to pull us up and out of our houses. We don't just go and do absolutely everything now. The downside from our new lifestyle is that we are much more prone to depression and isolation than ever before. Another reason we may feel like saying they're happy is too loud comes from social media. I have mentioned several times in past messages that we have a tendency to compare ourselves to other people when we look at their posts or their pictures and we see what we believe is incredibly complete happiness and success. People are actually calling this phenomenon social media depression. Realistically, we all know that social media posts and pictures and videos are superficial representations of the lives of others. They are best moments, not all the moments. They are Christmas card photos that do not reflect or show anger or frustration or tears. Yet, we buy it. We believe that we are the ones missing out. We are not like everyone else. Our family is less perfect. Our life is not as beautiful and certainly not as successful compared to what we see on social media. So, as we look for ways to cope with this feeling, let's start right there. When we look at those pictures on social media, let's say to ourselves, this is an idealized representation. This is not a family that is always this way. I am as beautiful and successful as they are. Another approach to this problem of feeling like happiness is too loud might include recognizing and naming our isolation and planning for ways to interrupt it. I know that this current spike of COVID numbers has us more cautious again. But if we can plan for safe ways to get out of our rut and try to interact occasionally with others, even for a brief period of time, our state of mind will improve. I know I just threw some negativity on social media, but here is a positive twist. Every morning, I check in with 3 social media groups. There is The Tribe, a group of 4 women whom I was with in a play 5 years ago. And we have checked in and chatted with each other through Facebook Messenger every single day since that play closed. Then there's a friend of mine, a former teacher friend, named Walter. Every morning around 6:30, Walter posts a picture of a cup of coffee and simply posts, "Good morning." And there are no less than 30 people who respond every single day, "Good morning, Walter." And finally, there's a group of complete strangers who post beautiful pictures of their world in a Facebook group called A View from My Window. We share photos of our backyards, lovely images of mountains and beaches, and honest struggles. Too many times there are views from the hospital room and the report of the loss of a loved one. The group rallies to offer condolences, prayers, and kind thoughts of support. Such a powerful community of strangers. These 3 social media connections that I make help me to ease the isolation that I am currently in. Here's a really basic idea, but it has helped me also. Take a shower. It helps our mood. A shower is a metaphorical and literal washing away. It's energizing and calming all at the same time. And then pray for help. Ask God to help you feel less anxious, less angry, less confused, less isolated, less sad. Matthew 7:7 reminds us, ask and it will be given to you. Seek and you will find. Knock and the door will be open to you. Now, if praying isn't your style, then meditate or look at the pond and walk in the woods. Those things work too. The idea is to get outside of ourselves. It's important to find something bigger than we are. That helps to stop those thoughts rattling around in our head. Moving our bodies is another way to help shift the dark thoughts out of our heads. Walking outside when weather permits is often all it takes to help us see the light at the end of the tunnel. My friends, I encourage all of us to take our mental health temperature from time to time. Every single person that I have spoken to about the pandemic since it started has admitted to struggling with anxiety, depression, or boredom. Every single one. When we are unable to bounce back, when we are unable to get up or participate or function, then we need to reach out for assistance. Call a counselor. Call me. If I can't help you, I will connect you to someone who can. My prayer for all of us is that right now we will give ourselves some understanding and compassion, that we will recognize where we are with our mental health and do what we can to elevate our mood when we are struggling, that we will not ignore the negative effects of this pandemic and our new habits. I know we didn't ever think we would still be struggling with this thing 2 years later. But we are. And when things start to overwhelm me, I pray. And then I remember these words from Winnie the Pooh. You are braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, smarter than you think, and loved more than you'll ever know. Amen.
Thanks for joining us this week on Entry Point Faith. The Entry Point Faith community meets every other Sunday at Conner Prairie in Fishers, Indiana. For more information or to join in person, visit entrypointonline.org. Entry Point Faith is a part of the Switchpoint Media Network. Find a variety of podcasts by visiting switchpoint.media.